We're already probably 3 times bigger than what Lynas was when they brought Mount Weld into production so many years ago.
Welcome back to Proactive Investors, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Kerry Stevenson, and I've asked John Prineas, Executive Chairman of St. George Mining. The ASX code is SGQ, and they've got the Araxá project in Brazil. It's niobium and rare earths. And guys, John, you've been constantly delivering. And most recently, the reason I want to have a chat with you today is you've appointed Worley, great name, to do the technical advice around the project. Why is that important for your current investors and potential future investors to fully understand?
Yeah, thank you, Kerry. The appointment of Worley really signals that we are now on the pathway to development. We've announced a great resource, as everyone knows. We continue to drill, continue to hit fantastic results from surface. So we will be delivering a bigger resource in due course, but it's already big enough to become a world-class rare earths and niobium player. We're already probably 3 times bigger than what Lynas was when they brought Mount Weld into production so many years ago. So we're really ready to get on the development pathway now. And no better name to help us do that than Worley.
So how does that work, John? As somebody that's not, I'm not a technical person, what are the things that they're going to be doing, I guess, to de-risk and to understand how to get you, as you say, you're going into development, but people really want to know when you're going to start mining?
Yeah, exactly. So we've already started the metallurgical test work, both with Citsanai in Brazil and SGS in Brazil and in Canada. So lots of hard work on the met work. Hopefully we'll have an announcement soon. That's really the first step in just showing that the flow sheet for production and then the design of the plant. That's where Worley comes in. So they'll be reviewing the met work and together with us coming up with the right plant design to get this thing into production, have the right mine plan. We're going to focus on not mining the whole 70 million tons a day one. You really start with smaller pits and go forward. So they'll all be part of the process of how to start this mining operation and start monetizing this fantastic mineralization we have.
Is it the niobium that you're going to focus on first, or the rare earths, or is that going to be something that is it a sort of a combo process?
Yeah, at the beginning we thought niobium for sure would be the first one because it is much simpler, straightforward flotation process. The neighbors at CBMM have been doing it for 50 years, and our guys used to run the niobium operation for them. So on the niobium side, it looks pretty easy, but the rare earths, the further down the pathway we go, is actually quite achievable as well. So don't be surprised if we end up with a combination production strategy.
In terms of customers, have you got people reaching out? Because you said a moment ago, this is 3 times the size that Lynas was when they first got started. That's a massive company now. You're still not a huge market cap. Perhaps the market hasn't fully caught on, but do you have customers reaching out and saying, we'd like offtake, we want to help fund the project? Any of that coming along?
Yeah, definitely. I think the end users can see the quality of this project, the scale, the fact that our mineralization starts from the surface and is high grade. So there aren't really too many teething problems in getting our operation into production. We can do it quickly once we get the design and the permitting all through. So certainly there are end users both in niobium and in rare earths reaching out to us. They want to sign offtake contracts. They're offering cash to help their gas into development so they can get that offtake to their plants as well. So it's a very exciting time for us, a real growth period for us. Once we get a feasibility study out, it's a completely different game for us. If you have a look at, say, Arafura, their value is up at about $1.7 billion. I leave it to the viewers to compare the resources, but I think our numbers look even more impressive than theirs. What do they have that we don't have? A feasibility study. So Worley's going to help us get that in place. And I think that's a huge re-rating event for us over the coming months.
When do you think that feasibility study will be out?
We're hoping to get the first leg out in July and then follow on with improved studies post that. So not long to go.
What do you think the market's missing, John, at the moment?
I don't think they're missing anything. They're just waiting for that next phase of value creation, and that is the network and the feasibility study. So it's coming. Worley would not have signed up with us. They're a very credible name. if we weren't also a credible story, they're going to help us get that level, achieve that next level. So I think the market will take notice, and we'll get re-rated.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on Proactive. And John, we've spoken quite a few times. You're always, hitting the milestones. And for those of you that might not know who St. George Mining are, sit up and take some notice. It is the niobium, it's the rare earths. As John said, this is high grade from surface. It's massive, but John is going to start and do it very systematically. And Worley are now on board doing the technical advice. So John, always great to see you. Thanks for joining me today on Proactive.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.